Hello, what's up? Good to see everybody here. Actually, I can't see anybody, but still, it's a matter of speech. Coming this weekend, we're starting a week of conventions of Kabbalah congresses here in Israel, which are like the highlight of the year, in the sense that thousands of students from Israel and from all over the world are coming together for this very unique, special experience. So I thought that if we're going to have a congress, why not explain this concept of Kabbalah Congress? What does it mean? What is it good for? Why can't we just do intimate stuff or just virtual? Why do we need to meet all these people together? Especially now when you have this coronavirus and all these problems. Well, anyway, let's talk about Kabbalah Congress. So, just like in every development or evolution in which we need to attain a higher level, that we cannot attain directly, meaning forcing this next degree to materialize. We need to play while we are still in a current state. We need to play. We need to build a model or act as if we are in x plus 1. And by doing that, we are allowing nature to rise us. Can you say to rise us? No. Like to lift us, right? Or can I say rise something, being raised by? Never thought of it. Can you actually say to be raised? Yeah, this is like second grade English. To be raised by. Yeah, I should have known that. Forgot these special verbs. Learned it probably. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so for example, if we want to fall asleep, so I cannot force myself to fall asleep tonight at 10 past 10 and 20 seconds. But I need to play like I'm asleep. I need to set the pillow in the right way, the blanket, the position, my breath, closing my eyes, playing as if I'm asleep, and then sleep happens. Same things happen when we learn to speak. So it's not like we're going at the age of 1 or 2 and going like, okay, got it, okay, this, and then I'm starting to speak English, and I'm saying raised in a right way. It doesn't happen like that. But these children, they are gibberishing their way into speaking. So they're like playing like they're talking, and they go like, blah, yeah. And then gradually they allow nature to bring them into a state that they can speak. Same with business success or relationship. So we're actually playing a way to success, or faking it until we're making it. Doesn't matter how you want to call it, but that's like a basic principle in nature. Having said that, same thing happens in spirituality. That we need, if we want the upper force or nature to allow us to experience spirituality, meaning to experience it, meaning the one law of nature, meaning the whole system, meaning everything which is beside my ego. So x plus 1 in spirituality means exiting myself more. So if we want to do that, we actually need to play in that. So that's why we have a Kabbalah Congress, because it's a place in which many people who want to experience the same thing come together. And so you have this huge force, this tremendous potential, spiritual potential of people that are trying to extend themselves towards others. And when there is both quantity and quality, then the potential is just greater and the success is much, much greater, okay? So you can think of a Kabbalah Congress like Portuguese waves for people who like to surf. Okay, so you have once a year these crazy waves, crazy spiritual waves that you just need to come there, and with a little bit of skill, well, actually if you're a surfer you need much more skill if you don't want to die there, but nobody dies still in a Kabbalistic Congress, so you just need a very basic skill in order to ride this wave that is much greater than you and experience this huge, tremendous spiritual jump. And the skill is very basic, and it's again playing to the extent that you understand what it is to be in spirituality. So usually a person that already come to a Kabbalah Congress understands a bit more about what it means to nullify yourself, why is it important, what does it mean to work towards the others, how through the work with others I reveal the Creator, how through the connection with others I actually build a spiritual model in which the upper force is being revealed. And when you know these basic principles, then you can apply them. And the good thing is that you don't need to be an expert when you come to this Congress, but there are already experts in this Congress. There is a huge mass of people doing that, so you're just going with the flow, just like a newborn who is being born into the 21st century and doesn't really need to go to the well to get himself water, or to hunt mammoth, or sleep in a cave, or whatever, but he immediately gets what humanity already achieved. Well, that's more or less in general what is Kabbalah Congress and why do we need it. Questions? Heidi is saying that we are here. Okay, good. Good noon, everybody, and good week too, to you too. Sao Paulo, Brazil, that's nice. Hey, from Brazil, so you probably won't come to the Congress in Israel. Good evening from Sweden, but you can connect virtually, especially if you're in KBU. Nairobi, Kenya. Okay, another somebody who probably won't come this time. Good morning from Puerto Rico. Psh, okay, nice. We need to do a Congress in Puerto Rico maybe once. Although we have this time in Israel, we have a student from Costa Rica that for 13 years wanted to come to Israel, and only now he was successful in coming with his wife. Uplift, raise. This is help with English. Thank you very much. Nurture, which is also a good word. Collective consciousness. I don't know what do you refer to. Can a person check his or her progress towards spirituality? Sure. When working in a group of people who also want to attain spirituality, you can check what do you feel towards them. Do you feel them as close as you feel yourself? Or your ego rejects them? How much do you hate them? Can you already turn this hate into love and rise above it? And there are many measurements that you can check when working in a group. Singapore. What's Singapore? Like Singapore, like the country Singapore, but it's written like two words. Didn't understand that. Okay, nobody writes on YouTube, so I don't know if it's working or not. Hopefully, yes. Good, now let's read some stuff about the Congress. The difference between a Congress and the daily lesson. So maybe part of you know that there is a daily lesson that Rav Lightman is broadcasting every day to the whole world. It's being translated to like 30 languages. But what is the difference between a Congress and the daily lesson? By the way, if you're a complete beginner, you have in the... No, I'll say that all the links that I'm going to go over are in the description box, either on YouTube or Facebook of this video. Sorry. If you're a complete beginner, you can start your free Kabbalah course with the link which is in the end of the description box, like in the bottom, you have the link, so you can go to KabU and start your courses, and then it will be a more systematic kind of a study. But a kenes, we call it kenes in Hebrew, a convention is a kinus, meaning in Hebrew a gathering, where we want to be in the sensation of a single system, and the feeling of that gathering depends on the extent to which one gives strength to it, and acts in connection for everyone. Then everyone receives the reward from that. I don't think the daily lesson covers the Congress, both in terms of quantity and quality of people participating, and also in terms of us not scrutinizing the things as we do in a Congress. In a Congress, we act only in a positive way to increasingly awaken unity, whereas in our daily lesson we have the line of criticism. That is the main difference between a lesson and a Congress. Other than that, in a Congress there is a gathering in quantity, not just quality. You have many people gathering together for 2 or 3 days in an effort. We will see how we can activate that effort in a virtual Congress. So we have both virtual and physical congresses. On one hand, there is this direction to connect, and on the other hand, it is all more internal and virtual. It is all organized to us from above, where according to what we learn now, what is true connection, where is it, where do we measure it, like I've been asked 2 minutes ago. We also see that it comes to us from above, where we even don't understand exactly what a virtual congress is. Okay, this post was specifically about a virtual congress, but again, in general, a congress is about connecting together in quality and quantity, and it really depends on the degree of a person, spiritual degree, how much he can get out of the congress, how much a deficiency he has to adjust, how much he knows how to work every moment in that congress internally. But basically a congress, it's just like this collective breath that a person can experience in inhaling and exhaling towards this general body, this general system in which the Creator can be felt. Okay, let's do another one. Where did the congresses come from? Question, where did the congresses come from? Are there historical facts indicating that Kabbalists used to bring thousands of people together and hold such events, or is this something new? There is nothing new here, and we are not inventing anything. Kabbalah is built on the laws of the upper world. Therefore, in everything we do, we must find out whether it is in accordance to its laws. Otherwise, it might harm us. Conventions were held even in ancient Israel when people were in attainment of the upper world. Kabbalists used to come to the temple in Jerusalem 3 times a year on Sukkot, Pesach, and Shavuot in order to study and participate in the study and the meals with everyone. What is more, throughout the year, people used to come to the temple to study and have meals together. This was considered a very good deed, and we may even say a godly one. Okay, so there are very cool stories at the time where the people of Israel were in spiritual attainment, how all the nations of the area came to Israel and wanted to cleave to them, to feel what they feel, to learn from them. And it is being said, I think Pilo, I don't know the Latin name, only the Philon Alexandroni, I think you call it Pilo. Let's check how you call this guy, this historian. If I can't find him in Wikipedia, I can find English in Wikipedia, and then I know, Philo, that's his name, Philo of Alexandria. Okay, so he even writes how all the people, how the thousands of people that came to Jerusalem all found a bed to sleep in and a food to eat, because all the people in Jerusalem opened their hearts, opened their houses, and that's actually the convention, that everybody opens up for the other, and you want to play again in this force of love, in order to reveal him between us, because that's what spirituality is all about. Okay, let's see if we have questions, and then we continue with this stuff. Nobody's asking on YouTube. Nice. I hope it works. Yes, Singapore is a country I know. We actually even have a friend from Singapore this time. but I just wrote it Singapore in 2 words. How do you do that on the video appear in front of a screen? What do you mean? How do I do that? I have the screen in the back. Well, that's the technical people did that. We have a software for that. That's not a question. Physical Congress or Virtual Congress, the target is to reach at last to Katnut, right? Yeah, even not Katnut, even a bit before it, even if you're talking about being an embryo, meaning a conception in spirituality. It really depends on the level of a person. So some people work in order to attain a level of conception, some katnut, meaning smallness, to being born already, and some to being big. It really depends specifically on the individual, but in a congress everybody is making a jump forward. Dante is saying hello on YouTube. Thank you, Dante, helping me see that it works. Okay, let's do another post. Joining the common flow. Congress, joining the common flow. So how can desires be added together? Even for bricks we need cement. What connects us together since we are so different? Answer. We are all egoists, but each has a point in the heart, and we want to connect them into one big point. This is our aspiration to the Creator. At that, our egoism remains below, and our aspiration to the Creator are above. If we rise above our egoism to a certain level, then the spiritual potential called a kli, a vessel, is revealed. That is the tension between the aspiration to the Creator upward and the aspiration to ourselves downwards. Yeah, this is always a spiritual potential. We always talk about the gap between the poles. So the higher the point of desiring or longing to connection with others, to attaining the force of love in nature, and the other pole of this cruel egoism, the sensation of only myself, not feeling anybody else, just being locked inside of my individual emptiness. So the greater the gap, the more the spiritual potential. And this is a drawing of everybody rising above their ego. So we form a kli depending on this potential. However, the question arises whether this kli is enough to reveal the Creator in. So what's interesting in the Congress, that everybody brings his own lack, egoistic lack. So you have people coming from Chile, you have people coming from Japan, from Singapore, as we've said, from China. This year is a problem, a very sad story with this virus. But from Africa, so you have a lot of people coming with this huge lack, huge desire, and you have people who already have some kind of attainment, some kind of presence in the spiritual world, and when you connect them all together, you have this huge spiritual potential. Does it mean that the bigger the rejection is, the greater the potential? That is by and large. It tears me apart. Not only you, but the entire group. If you are in the 10, meaning in a group of people that want to attain spirituality, then there should be 10 such states. Then the Creator will be revealed in them. The main thing is the common point, the Creator. We constantly need to hold on to it. So we are always holding to this main point between us. And the fact that each one is different, it's actually what gives different shades, different flavors in the connection between us. So the more the flavors, the more the shades, people from different nations, from different mentality, crazy different mentality. You have like Russians and Americans and Africans and Europeans and Israelis, which are like, and South Americans, and they all come in a purpose to unite. And then you have all these very unique colors and flavors. So is the potential much more vivid for those who come to the Congress without desire, with great doubts, but then overcome them? Of course, therefore we need all people with different potentials, with different desires. The main thing is that they can join our common flow. So again, because spirituality is being attained above rejection, above oppositeness, then if a person actually feels some kind of rejection or not certain or have these doubts if he should come or not, and he overcomes that and he comes, then he attains much more. And usually people who don't have these obstacles internally, they receive external obstacles. That's why many times people before a Congress get sick or have problems at work or at family to come to a Congress. So there are always challenges being built so a person can overcome that and actually attain more by the effort he puts into it. Last post. The secret of Kabbalah conventions. Question: what is the secret of Kabbalah convention? Answer: it is a special secret that can be told only to those who participate in the conventions. Others will not understand. That's why you usually say that you cannot explain a Congress. You need to come experience that and then you understand. The point is that when people are interconnected internally, they form one big common desire. If the connection takes place according to the law of the spiritual world, when people nullify their egoism, individualism, their natural impulses for separation, and try to overcome them, then a very serious force of overall interconnection emerges between them, which they artificially create through the efforts of their will. Then, to the extent they prevail against themselves, they show the good power of nature, the power of unity, the power of love. The secret is that if we unite in this way, we reveal the upper positive force of nature, which does not exist in our world. That's why I'm saying it's like this wave that comes over you and you just ride it. This eternal force of life, which is in nature, this ancient, very deep sensation that you just connect, it overwhelms you and you ride it. That's why you come to a Congress and sometimes even if you're not hungry, you feel that you're hungry because you're gathering all these desires from around you and you feel these new connections. It's a very interesting experience. It is called concealed power, and Kabbalah is called a secret science because it reveals this concealed power. Becoming owners of two opposing forces, the negative, egoistic force and the positive, altruistic, which we extract together trying to unite, we close both forces on ourselves and begin to reveal the upper world between us. Question: is it important for us to be in the same room while trying to unite, or it is not essential? In general, this is important because a person is like a small limited animal and has to rise exactly from the place where he is. But again, if a person is has risen to a sufficient degree, he can connect to this state even virtually or from afar. What would you recommend to those who cannot come to the convention? Those who for some reason cannot come, it is desirable to be in touch with us and participate with us in all the events in real time, but if such an opportunity does not exist, then it is possible at some other time. The most important thing for those who cannot come to the convention is to get together with others who aren't coming and to be with us during lessons and meals. Well, that's why, again, during this huge congress we have of thousands of people in Israel, we have these mirror congresses in every continent of people coming together from group of 3s, 5 to group of 50s, 100 people who come together in Australia, North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and trying to be with us during that time. How does a congress or gathering speed up the connection? Coming together does not feel good sometimes. Yeah, it doesn't. Actually, a person is usually rejected from it. I explained why, because it's for us to have a greater spiritual potential, because we know that love is being revealed only upon hate, and light is being revealed only through darkness. So, why does it speed up? Because you have all these people together that come to make internal work, and you have like it's like connection on speeds. It's like you have a greenhouse that allow flowers to grow faster. So you take very natural processes and you speed them, and you hasten them. And this is what we do in the Congress. So everything is like, everything is moving forward in a crazy pace, because you have all these people working together in an effort to push forward, and you have this accumulative force. Spiritual sound a bit too abstract. Can you develop a little if possible? Spiritual potential. Spiritual potential, again, what does it mean to be spiritual? Spiritual in Kabbalah, and the definition is very basic. It means everything that is above your ego. So why do you need your ego? You need your ego in order to build upon it your spiritual awareness. So spiritual potential means the gap or the level or the what's the English word, like the difference between how egoistic you are and how and to what extent do you attain the force of love in nature. Are you capable of connecting to something outside of yourself? And the greater you are in spirituality, the more egoistic you are on one hand, and the greater you have the possibility to rise above your ego. But this is how it works in every profession, in every game. All the time we have more challenge, more skill, more challenge, more skill. So like pro athletes, they compete in a most challenging, hard environment on the one hand. On the other hand, they have the greatest skill. So that's how you grow. And so I hope it's clear. Okay, more questions? No more questions. Good. So that was a bit about the Spiritual Congress. So maybe next time we'll show some examples or stuff from a Spiritual Congress. Maybe not. Maybe we'll move to the next, because we'll be in the next lesson. We'll already be after one Congress. So maybe we'll do something else. I don't know. Let me see if I can put here a clip from a Congress. No, it doesn't work. No, well, maybe next time we'll do that. Can't do it right now. Too bad. Okay, any questions before we conclude? No more questions. So that was that about Kabbalah Congresses. You're welcome to join and connect. Again, if you go into KabU and you pass the basic courses, I think you can connect to Congresses. What other way can you connect to Congresses live? Maybe if you check kab.info. So I don't know what language you're using, but I think you have kab.info. Let me check. Nice. Too many languages in this computer. Kab.info. Okay, here it is. So this is basically kab.info. So you have here all the languages. So if you go to any language, I guess you can get to some, maybe on Kabbalah TV, I don't know what language you're using, but you can get into some kind of broadcast of the Congress, I guess. Maybe. Hopefully. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much and see you next week. Bye bye.